I'm telling you, a lot of people will be like, oh, you don't want two in diapers. Sorry, chat.
No,
you don't
I want two back to back.
Two in diapers is the way to go. Because you know what? When you're done with diapers, you're done.
Yeah, I'm doing two back to back. I want them to be best friends forever. That's my plan.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah,
all my friends who are close together in age, like they're 1 year or less apart, or like a year, 2 years apart, they're all good friends with their siblings. Everyone else who's far apart.
What? Don't say that. Jeannie's almost 8. She'll be 8 by the time she has a brother
until they get older, then they like appreciate each other.
Yeah,
but...
you got to get them older though, because like when I was not close with my sister at all. That shit was like borderline violent. At
How old was she?
My sister's a year and a half younger than I am.
Oh.
Yeah, Jenny would be like 9. 8 years difference.
Me and my brother are 12 minutes apart.
Oh,
hell no, I don't like him.
You different thing. My sister and I are 9 years apart, and that was hard. But at the same time, it also became like a really cool thing when I was like, oh, I can go to her cheerleading thing and bring her balloons and be like the cool sister and shit.
I'm 16 years apart from my little sister and 4 years apart from my brother, but we are all nice to each other. But we're not all like super close.
Yeah.
I get you.
My siblings.
I feel like I'm more like a parent to them than like,
okay.
Buddies, I guess. But I think it's because I'm really old.
You're not old. What are you talking about?
You're not really old.
In comparison to them.
Oh,
yes,
no,
I am in comparison to them. I literally told these girls who are 18 that I'm like, like halfway through my 30s, and they were like, no way. And I was like,
yeah, Maggie, you got like a Tom Cruise thing going on over there.
Yeah.
They were like, I thought you were 24. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
Add plus 10,
gracefully.
plus 11 to that.
Yeah.
Might I say.
Yeah. I feel like you're gonna be like that age for like the next like 40 years.
Did you guys see the?
No, I'm the Asian. The Asian vibe is like I look really young and then I just get old AF.
Oh.
Did you see that post with Wilford Brimley? Right, Wilford Brimley was 50 when he did Cocoon, and Tom Cruise was 56 in the last Mission Impossible film.
Oh my god, dude!
I need to get some Botox.
I am the same age as Archie Bunker was.
What the fuck?
I saw that and I was like, I fucking quit. That's like my daughter told me she didn't know who John F. Kennedy was the other day.
Oh my god, the funniest fucking thing happened today.
Why does she not know who John F. Kennedy is?
That's what I said. I'm like, he's the 35th president of the United States, last person to get assassinated.
Are the kids learning in school today?
That's what I asked her.
Nothing, mostly.
Yeah.
This is why I want to homeschool. Part of me is like, I'm a little worried about having kids because then I'm going to be like, I just want to stay home and be with them forever.
Yeah.
To be fair,
a reality. That is a
I know your
feeling.
waifu and I have been talking. I know.
Yeah, it's a reality, and I'm not even gonna tell you it's a bad instinct.
Yeah, I know.
Other kids can make your kid real shitty real quickly. It's kind of crazy how much they pick up from other.
The influence of other people in general.
Yeah, my kid's been snapping his crayons ever since Junie left.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
I left that. Did
Junie teach him to snap his crayons?
Junie.
Why did she do it?
The monster.
We opened up a box of like.
Wait, did she break it so that they could share? Because that's
you have
cute.
no idea how at home I was very much like with Cora, like, hey, we should probably curb her, breaking of these like crayons or like peeling off, and she's just like, it's her expression, just let her do thing. And we went back and forth about it. Then we went to Cobalt's and we stayed for like a month or something, and of course she like broke all their crayons, and I was like, see, I told you, because he mentioned it to me. So
I don't know where the tips are still. I think she might have ate them. They're gone.
They're weird. But I felt so I felt so bad about it, like, because I don't want my kid breaking other kids.
It was
things.
like 100 crayons. It was mostly just funny. Like, I don't care.
I'm just gonna buy you a fucking new thing of crayons, okay?
I don't give a shit about the crayons.
I'm more freaked out about the vision of a little child breaking 100 crayons. That creeps me out a little bit, not gonna lie.
Well,
that's the shit of nightmares.
Some people just have violence in them.
Instinct is good. All children, not just my daughter, are sort of terrifying.
Truth.
You're gonna learn this. Listen, Junie scared the shit out of me the other day. I was asleep in the bedroom, and she came in to give me like a hug and a kiss, but I don't know that, and it's dark, so I wake up with her like her hovered over me, going in for the hug, and I'm almost like, what the fuck, and like pushing her back, like she's like, Dad, I just wanted to give you.
No,
that's such a danger.
You don't do it so creepy. Then you can't be sneaking up on me in the middle of the night.
They do that shit. Zoe once told me her blood was shaped like the sun.
Nice.
She was 4, and she's like, Mom, my blood's shaped like this, and she said it all evil, and I'm like, shit, girl, we're going home.
Brian's cousin, when we were little, I think I was like 15, we went camping and we were all together, and his little cousin came up to me. His cousin had to be like 8, just walks up to me and goes, I like your eyes. I wish I could put them in a jar. And I just was like,
no, dude.
How do I even respond to that? And I just look at Brian, and Brian's just like losing it, like laughing, and I'm just like,
trade you for your fingers.
Yeah, you just gotta get weird back, man. Like, that's the thing. Kids are weird. You just gotta normalize them. Just like, you want to trade? We'll figure it out. We can science this. We're smart enough. Kids like that.
We get what they mean,
Yeah.
It's like, just don't say it that way, creepy.
I was like, if you weren't a small 8-year-old child, that would be real creepy. I mean, it is still really creepy as is.
Mrs. Maggie, you smell different when you're awake.
I used to say that to people at roller derby all the time.
What?
We had
Who says that?
I do. We would have uncomfortable hug contests at roller derby all the time, and that was my go-to line. When you hug someone, you sniff them. Oh, we would. Yeah.
Just like, this isn't the first time we met. This is also the first time I've held you. You can just like back away.
Usually it would start with what Ella said, actually, like the hug and the sniff, and like, oh, you smell so much better.
I rub mayonnaise on my shoulders.
Really? That's disgusting. You shouldn't do that, sir.
Actually, if you put mayonnaise in your hair, it's like a really good conditioner.
It is.
Oh, we got 10 subs.
We got that's right. There we go.
That's all we had to do was talk about mayonnaise.
That's what I'm talking about. See, Cobalt and I on the same thing here. Yeah, that's right, guys. We got our first luck reroll. We can actually start this game, kicking it off. Let's talk about not mayonnaise. Let's talk about what happened last time. What happened last time we played?
Well, was there mayonnaise involved? I wasn't here. I don't know.
There wasn't.
Heaven burned half the town down, and I saved everyone like I always do. And I watched Rye doing thievery.
Damn, that moment, Ella legitimately looked down, almost ashamed.
I'm not
There was like
the
a
only
small
one?
head. He just went.
Okay, I did notice something though.
What's that? What's that?
I rolled a 19, and you said, "Damn, I set the DC at 18." but then I realized that you told me I had -2 perception because I have an eye patch.
Oh,
And that I wasn't applying to that.
Your eyes.
My eye. I have a big metal.
we have to go back, Kate. We have to go back.
I'm just saying, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, "Oh shit, that should have been -2."
It's okay. Listen, but I do a little DMing too. I'll step in for this.
Oh, well, you got this. Okay.
I don't care what you do.
Eli would have seen Rye. You came around the corner, but you know what? Because of the eye patch over your eye, and the fact that you're just sort of a blind human being, you're very one-dimensional. You can't see correctly through the wall, and Rye suddenly grows more muscles than he already has and looks way sexier also in that moment. Wow. And you would have seen all that.
You question your sexuality.
Yes, I'll allow that too.
Okay, you almost had me there. I almost let you take the DM cap for a moment. You could have been like, he was just instinctively yelling out Rye's name because he knew he was doing something wrong right then. And I would have been okay with it. But then you went full like 7 deadly sins on me.
I don't care what you decide to do. Just for transparency, I don't like to cheat.
No, like at this point, what's happened has happened. And if there was something that was going to happen, right? Like you would have reacted then, but I feel like there is still more to the growth of the character of Eli, and I'm interested in seeing how this plays out now.
Adamantium claws.
Oh.
What?
Just stay with me. Pop out of Rye's hands, okay? Because now his backstory is he was one of the experiments as part of the X program.
Oh, in Harrowstone.
Why do I feel like every one of your sessions would begin with everybody level up because I don't remember what happened last time?
Okay.
Are we in the multiverse now?
Professor X. Okay, I get his mind powers. Okay.
But like cartoon Professor X, movie.
Cartoon 90s
I have
Professor
a question.
X.
Thank you.
Why did he never use his mind powers to make himself walk, or at least give him the appearance that he could?
If he didn't want
There
to.
are times he does, but it's rare.
Oh, look what you've
You
done.
don't always have to walk.
You clearly don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay? You just
That's
don't get it.
that man, look, he's enabling and showing people that it's okay to be disabled.
Right?
Yeah.
Rookie question.
Come on.
Wow, you want to take one of the few represented accessibility characters and you want to turn them into a normie
That's right.
walker?
I bet you're going to say that wheelchairs weren't allowed in D&D either, right? I bet you're that guy too.
No, I mean they work. Like fundamentally they do.
Okay, then what's Professor X he's got his thing. Don't
Why
jam him
doesn't
up.
Rogue just dye the white part of her hair? Okay.
There are some GMs
awesome
that
the way
don't
it is,
allow it.
Ronald, because it's awesome.
I don't know that I'd play with them.
I guess.
That's my thought too.
All right, so game time. Eli and Rye were coming back from their rat hunting.
Correct.
They were heading towards town to at least get off some of the guts because we were smashing them into like a pancake between each other.
Yes.
So we're covered in rat guts and blood and stuff. And as we are heading there, we run into Jaminda, and I strike up a conversation with her. I try to, but as we're talking, we can smell the smoke coming from town, and we see Torvin running to town.
Yes.
And it looked serious or frantic. We're seeing the smoke, so we followed.
You gave Jaminda the rats, which I then slaughtered once you turned your back.
That's fine. I did give her the rats. But we tried to curb the fire that was started. Rye decided to use this as an opportunity to get some quick thievery in, and
Really quick cash.
tried to take some gem eyes out of a painting, or like a decorative painting of Pharasma in the town hall area, which was seen by Eli, who was carrying basically a trough with water to try to stop the fire. Stop me, by the way, if anyone wants to step in. I'm just going with it.
Oh, you're good.
I managed to successfully carry the trough, which we didn't use.
I was actually hella impressed. Your rolls were on point for that. I didn't think you were going to be able to do it, but you managed to clutch it.
Neither, but
Rye tried to make his way out to help a little bit. At some point, Torvin realized that taking out a certain part of the building would be best to kind of curb the fire and keep it from spreading to other buildings. So I helped him with that by tossing my entire body into the side of the town hall that I was previously in, and then it kind of sort of collapsed on me, but I was able to avoid damage and sort of get out of the building in time.
Yes.
Torvin and Eli were trying to help me, I think, but I think Torvin might have helped me.
We said, like, let us know when you get out or something, and then when we didn't hear you, we just kept hammering away to bring it down. I think that pretty much catches us up. I can't remember quite the very end.
Yeah, we had about 40 minutes between Silwith, between a few ghosts and Temerity.
Right, yes. Maybe I'll let them take the reins on their show.
Is that Jorfa?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jorfa showed up in ghost form. Not too happy that I said that justice had been served for her death, and held me and Pevrin in place. Also realized that Pevrin wasn't responsive, or he just wasn't talking. Wasn't sure. Don't really know what's going on yet on that end. But she was able to keep her hand placed on what's that kid's name? Pevrin. There you go. His body. To keep me from.
It's this kid that I've been inhabiting for a year now.
The meat bag.
His name's Peggle. I think his name's Peggle.
Oh God, no.
More than a year, because it was February 2nd, 2021 was when we started.
Something like that.
It's a little Peggle.
Look, like anyone in Harrowstone, he's expendable. All right. So just leave it at that.
Damn.
I'm just kidding. That's not true.
That
Savage.
Actually, that's the truest thing you said.
Everyone has a birthday. You do not.
Truth.
Pevrin ain't gonna make it to his birthday if he keeps fucking acting up.
Right?
Jesus, why?
He's not acting up.
You went deep on that one.
What do you mean if he keeps acting up?
He's ruined that child's body with lightning and fire and ghosts.
He said if Pevrin keeps acting up, he's not going to make it to his birthday.
Yeah,
I can't think of a time when Pevrin acted up.
Yeah, he's not talking about. You want to stay silent? I'll keep you silent. I'll end you.
Tripp might.
We know Pevrin used
might
to
not
be a
make
keeper.
it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Tripp's about to end.
It's all good, and it was a good trip. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't long, but it was good.
You know what? Now he definitely is about to end.
Because we're on the topic, I do want to say that I feel in my heart, Ronald, that you are a mainstay of this group. However, my brain is telling me you've been planted here, okay? And there's maybe motivations we're not aware of, and it has not gone beyond my observation that
you're the raid boss, the hidden raid boss.
Don't give Eli ideas, because he's already been as soon as he saw him, he's like, let's kill him.
I want you to know as a player
a holy defibrillator.
that I love you and I love D&Ding with you, but I want to say,
thank you.
As also a player, I'm suspicious of you, and you might be the worst. And
which 10 things he did makes you suspicious?
Yeah, I was he's been pretty sus.
I mean,
hey, but at the end of it all,
assessment.
My kill count's still lower than all of your guys. Okay, still have taken less.
That's
lives.
debatable now.
That's not true.
I killed so many pets.
Really? Who have I killed?
Okay, first of all, are we talking near deaths? Because you nearly killed a child.
Just death?
You constantly put Pevrin's life in damage. Oh, you're...
Honestly, dog, you have a party full of people that are on consistent damage control. If they were not around, you would have a slew of bodies on your hand.
The closest thing that I came to killing was a zombie professor, okay? Everything else was mosquito, centipede.
Kendra. Who has Rye killed?
Kendra got a little boo-boo because she's weak, and I fixed her up real nice, okay? I patched her up real good and took care of her.
I killed Jorfa, but like it was an accident.
Yeah, I think if we're being totally honest, I think Oz has the highest kill count on the squad.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose.
Sounds like an Oz thing to do. Kill the most people and not me too.
If we're putting that asterisk on it, then it usually goes for me as well.
It's chat. It really is. It's chat. It's chat has the highest kill count. It's
correct.
true.
I am the only person who's glad someone died.
That's not true.
For a specific target, but that not me as a player, me as a character is glad someone
I will say, I've had a slew of people approach me about the questions regarding alignment, particularly in regards to decision making on not necessarily Ello's part. That Ello's part makes the most sense as a character. He's the easiest to explain, but Cobalt, there is a whole fucking parade of people that are constantly calling Eli's actions into alignment. They're like, he needs alignment shift.
There's a subreddit about your character.
I've been doing so good.
Paladin syndrome.
And
what is your alignment? Are you lawful? I feel like you're lawful
good.
Yeah.
He's lawful good.
He seems super lawful because like
I turned in
the decisions he makes sometimes.
Yeah, I turned in our own party member and ratted on him to the sheriff.
That's true. He did.
Yeah.
You did. I went back and watched that, and you didn't lie, but you tried your damnedest to make it not look so bad. But when it came out, you're like, we may have found a knife on his body that contained that girl's blood.
But there's
section that's here, sir.
Yeah, there's other things going on here. It's not as simple.
No, it's not. Nothing is simple about it. But yeah, he's been very honest to his character. I think everybody's been very honest.
Given all the facts.
I do want to ask,
lie or steal,
all of the players here, with an exception to Ronald, what do you think Silwith's big plan is? Is he like, I'm alive again and I'm acting out? Is he actually a bad guy? Like, what? I want to know what you guys think about the character Silwith, because I know you have opinions.
I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's a bad guy. Right? Like Zangief. Seriously, like in his heart, he's not bad, but I think he's doing bad things because he wants revenge. That's what it feels like to me. Like the more he finds out, the more he's like, fuck all of these.
Malicious.
Selfish, immature, and arrogant.
Damn.
Sure.
That's perfect. Don't sugarcoat it now. Tell us how you really feel, because I'm here for it.
He's just waking up.
Just saying.
Yeah,
he
is.
Self-motivated. He talks mad shit, and
I think that he has an extreme case of entitlement.
Well, he comes from a noble family, right?
Right. I feel like the entitlement is kind of like multifold, that he feels wronged, and so he's using that as a justification to do lots of really bad things.
Vengeful is the word that I think of.
Even vengeful, but like just the idea of being so okay with not only just inhabiting a child's body, okay, but that he sometimes has no regard for Peverin's safety in certain instances.
Absolutely.
And what was the oh man, I forgot my last point. But anyways, I feel like there's a big sense of entitlement. Like his story is most important story, and it's
completely
like,
agree.
He's willing to put Peverin, even as like not even Peverin's story, just Peverin as a person, on hold so that he can, figure this all out. And I feel like the more, like somebody else said, that the more he figures out about him, I don't know if
driven he gets.
more. Yeah. Like I think the more, not just the more driven. I think the more
bad.
I think you're encouraged more. I think you feel more empowered.
Yeah.
Because you're figuring things out to keep going further. And I think you are getting confident in your actions in a weird way.
It's like he's lost sight of that original motivation, right? Which was, let's keep all of the other big bads out of the 12-year-old. And now it's, okay, no, I'm here. I may as well
figure out my situation.
2 birds, 1 stone, and figure out exactly what's happening with my life, or my unlife, for that matter.
He needs to find a new vehicle to crew.
True. He does, in fact.
And while we're talking about vehicles to crew, this game's sponsored by Goodyear Tires. No, I'm just
That is not true.
Sponsored by Gundam.
I have a contact at Michelin.
Thanks. I think I'll figure that out. I have nothing. I have nowhere I can take that. But
are you driven by an undead desire? Well, so is Michelin.
He kind of looks like a big ghost.
Sort of, yeah. Sort of.
Yeah. Can I admit something about Rye?
Go for it.
That I'm kind of coming to terms with, and I don't really like about Rye, but I think it's the truth.
Go for it.
All no.
I think he doesn't care about Pevrin very much as maybe he should.
Sure.
And I think that it allows him to not pay attention to what Silwith is really doing.
Yeah.
I think in Rye's mind, even that if something were to happen to Pevrin, and it was Silwith's fault, that it would relieve him of response. He can still take. Yeah, Pevrin seems burdensome to Rye at this point.
It's because Pevrin doesn't really have much to offer at this point. He just feels like a burden.
Yes, he feels like a dumbbell.
Yeah, I get that.
We don't get to know him at all. We're getting to know Silwith, but we're still responsible for this other entity that lives in there that we don't really know much about.
Totally makes sense. I don't think that's out of character at all. Like you have done your best to surround yourself with people that you can utilize as tools to your own means and your survival. Now, if they evolve past that, then that's exceptional. That's great for Rye.
Sure. There's also the Nidal angle though too, that Rye's connections to Nidal, he wants those to be as distant as possible.
Like one less thread to worry about kind of thing.
Exactly. And that's a big thread for him that he doesn't want to reconnect with. And he feels like especially Pevrin's known but unknown connection to Nidal, especially higher up Nidal, is very uncomfortable for
But
Rye.
how much can you not care when his actions are putting like the whole group in jeopardy by like burning the town and
Rye doesn't know that quite yet.
It's not kind of become so transparent yet.
Yeah, I think he's kind of counting on Temerity to sort of deal, because that seems a little out of Rye's scope.
That's actually what I wanted to bring up. I think today is going to have a hindering anchor on the that's its big pressure, right? It's responsibility. It's a hindering anchor of responsibility on Temerity, because they passed the buck to Temerity with the sword. It's like, no, you do this, you decide his fate. And when Temerity decided that he gets to live, some people were kind of upset about it. I think some were more upset than others, but
I expected her to choose what my character thought was what she should do.
Sure.
Based off of my knowledge of like the church previously. But then, yeah, to my dismay, that was not what happened.
I mean,
but
I might also
that's
have
more
some regrets there.
My dude's lawful, and she's supposed to be the law of Pharasma, and Pharasma is pretty much the presence here. So it's kind of like I'm supposed to defer to her, but not break my own moral code that I try to stick to as best I can.
True.
But,
Does Rye remind me, is Rye aware of Silwith's connection to Nidal, or does he not know that?
Yeah, you're the one that
Silwith
found it
has zero connection to Nidal.
Oh, you mean Pevrin?
No, that's
Pevrin.
not true.
Pevrin.
Silwith.
His dad
correct.
Helped, smuggle for the assassins.
There is a connection.
Yeah, but it's like it's so thin line, such a thin of a line that you could pull on that thread and pull, you could pull in a beast, but at the same time, there's a much larger fish on the end of Pevrin.
Correct. But does Rye know that? I forget if Rye knows that or
you know. So honestly, I think that you are the most informed in regards to Pevrin's backstory.
Remember, you found
Silwith's story.
Backstory.
I actually don't know.
Ashworth, which is Tripp's dad.
That's why. Yeah,
I don't remember who has
Pevrin
that
for
information.
sure.
Oh, Rye knows this. Lives 4 towns over, not Nidal. Yeah, you are the one who knows he works for Assassin's Guild.
Okay.
That's right. You'd heard about
it. It was a
him.
large-scale money movement, and that was you who knew that information. I don't know if you shared that with the rest of us. I made a note in my parentheses, Rye knows this.
Gotcha.
Because I wanted to make sure that I was like, I don't know this.
Thank you for keeping those notes.
Yeah.
No problem. I don't know if I had it. I was like, Control F Silwith, and I found it.
Perfect.
It was on February 22nd, on episode 29. If you'd like to go back and look.
Yeah, that's.
I wish I could afford one of her
days,
to help me with life.
Yeah, right.
That's way more organization than I
currently operate on.
It's on page 34.
Jeez, right.
Page 34. Good God.
Oh no.
Love it.
I have a notes rule that sometimes pisses DMs off, but if I'm not at a certain intelligence, I don't keep notes. I feel like that
doesn't bother me.
Hurts me.
That doesn't bother me at all. I like people playing inside their wheelhouse.
I think my character doesn't need to know like he wouldn't.
Yeah, and I usually only take notes from my character's perspective, so I specifically wrote that in parentheses because I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like we've got some news here. We have some things. So I'm going to start today. Did we have everybody making their way? Did everybody arrive? I think that we had decided.
Yeah, they had just put out the fire.
Time.
The townsfolk, you said before we ended the session, recognized that Torvin, Eli, and Rye had put in work not only to save people but the town, and this was like the first time that they were being like seen in the forefront doing that work for Harrowstone.
Yes. That's very very important information. If you don't remember, in the very beginning of this game, there is a functional reputation system built into this game. And if you have a low reputation, really terrible things can happen. Really, really terrible. Like if you fall under a certain limit, all of the townsfolk rally and they chase you out with fire and pitchforks.
The blessing at this point. Can we know our reputation where it's at right now?
Sure, I can tell you a number, but it's not good. Like unless you see the chart in the table, it's not going to make a lot of sense. But you guys are currently at reputation 22. If you fall below 10, they attempt to murder you all.
Gotcha. Okay.
You started at 15.
Gotcha.
You
Do you take into account how dumb they all are?
Yes.
Okay.
You were higher in level. But some of the personal actions that on people's
How many points of those did Eli get with his speech at the funeral and putting out fires, I wonder?
Honestly, your funeral speech didn't net you any points. You gained points from being the only one to not let the casket hit the earth.
Yeah.
That one,
okay.
that's the one that mattered right there. That was a major important thing.
Look, I was carrying the casket too.
Yeah,
10 points for Gryffindor.
I rolled pretty well for Oz.
For Ozendor.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So then everybody is going to be arriving back. I want to deposit this camera angle back on where we see Torvin, we see Rye, and Eli. You're walking back. You are covered in dust, debris. It looks like the carbon from the fire has sort of started running from, bits of sweat or drops of sparse rain that have come down.
And rat guts.
And rat guts. Yeah,
we're a
fucking
bit of a
mess
right
now.
now.
You guys look pretty haggard. Yeah.
I am not okay, so the town has the fire's done.
Yes. It's just smolders at this point. It's just light bit of smoke rising.
Is there anybody around right now?
No, it's honestly just the three of you. You're on your way back from the town circle.
So this fire hasn't gotten anybody out of there, like.
Oh yeah, people are around, but they're not walking with you.
I want to use the trough that I moved so meticulously to bucket some water onto myself.
Sure, that's fine. You guys, you could have done it. You could have taken the time to do that.
Yeah, I would like to do that. Hold
I'm gonna clean off with
hair back.
Did I know that he saw me?
No,
we talked about him seeing me, but I don't.
But I said, right, we need your help out here.
At the exact time you were doing it.
Yeah. So
Sight or not.
Might be one of those things where you feel like you may have seen, but he didn't accost you. He hasn't hit you with anything yet.
Would you let me roll sense motive on Eli when we are cleaning off together? We're bathing together.
Since you said that with a smile, yeah, I'll let you do that.
Okay.
Since my bathing mode to get clean.
All right. Sorry, for some
Torvin
reason
was
this
going to
program
clean
runs so
himself
slow
in
on
that
my
trough as
computer.
well, but has seen the results of what's going now into the trough and walks on.
Yeah.
I'm just bucketing.
water
I'm just
elsewhere.
bucketing it off and dumping the bucket over myself. I'm not.
You're not paying any
Contaminating
attention
it.
whatsoever. Okay, so the cracked trough is between you two. You're on either side. You're crouched down, or you're bucketing at this point, and I think it sort of looks like Rye just kind of keeps glancing up, trying to see if there's any sort of remark in nature from Eli. And do we see Eli like pay him any mind, pay any attention?
Do I notice him glancing at me?
Sure. Give me a sense motive.
Okay.
I think maybe you kind of catch a glance. Like, he hasn't said that he's trying to hide it, but I mean, Rye is not the best at emotional larceny, if you will.
All right. Well, Eli's gonna make the first break the silence, and he'll say, "Well, did you get it?"
Rye's gonna play coy and just what do you take it? What? Burnt?
Don't play coy. I saw you fiddling with some kind of stone in there. That big painting.
At this, Rye's gonna look a little surprised. I'm gonna attempt to bluff.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that, I don't know what came over me when I saw the town hall on fire. I ran in there to see if anyone was in there, but noticed the painting on the wall and thought Temerity might appreciate a keepsake if it burnt down.
Give me a sense motive. Do either of you want to reroll at all? You have two
Not
rerolls.
when I'm winning.
We are five subs away. 5 away from our third luck reroll. We have 2 luck rerolls.
I will
currently.
reroll.
Okay,
Yes,
go
I
for
will
it.
use 1 reroll.
Ooh.
I'm gonna reroll too.
Okay.
Damn it.
Oh no!
Come on.
Would you like to use your last reroll?
Your last
I
current
don't have
reroll.
any.
Yeah.
You have 2. There's 2. Did you already? You've not used both of them, have you?
Is it worth it?
No.
Yeah, he just used the one. Right
I
now.
mean, I'll believe that. That's fine. But he's going to say, yeah, well, that wasn't in the church. That was in the town hall. I think that belongs to the people of the town, and they're going to need it after the damage here that's been done.
Yeah, you're probably right. Best we turn it into Temerity so she can give it to him.
Were there any more in there?
Even if there was, I wouldn't have had time to get them. I tried to look for documents, maybe important papers, but you saw it. Place was burning up pretty quick, which begs the question, how the fuck did that fire get started to begin with? At this, I'm like undoing the what kind of armor is it?
Lamellar.
Yes, I'm like undoing the,
Unbuckling.
Unbuckling, yeah.
Well, it looks like it came from the forge over there, but I can't imagine a dwarf like that letting a fire get out of hand unless something seriously went wrong.
Yeah, I hear you guys talk about her. I don't know much about her. Aren't you friends? You should probably go speak with her.
I don't actually think she likes me very much, but she helped me anyway.
It's hard to imagine you're such a charming person. And I give a little joking smile.
Torvin, I'm assuming that you're walking back from the town gazebo at this point, with its overhang, and you overhear them speaking about Jorfa and being friends. Maybe you should go speak with her. Yeah, I don't think she liked me much.
Either way, a lot of damage here. A lot of uproar. And man, I wonder where Oz is at. Kendra. Didn't see them in the middle of town. Where's Temerity?
I don't know. My fucking back hurts from those belly flops you were doing on me.
Your back should hurt from trying to carry that trough. I gotta say,
well,
I didn't think you were very strong looking at you. I'm surprised you carried that so well. I'm like looking at his.
Thanks.
You know,
if you want to arm wrestle sometime, I'll remind you how strong I am.
At this, Raya is a big smile. Oh, well, I'll be sure to challenge you away from everyone. I wouldn't want you to get too embarrassed.
This is the closest that we get to a beach episode in Harrowstone.
I'll be ready. I'll be ready. Yeah, by this point, I am shirtless, and I'm scuffed from the soot.
One half of you is, the other half is not.
Yeah. Like I have like a baby, like a new fresh baby skin side, right? So I'm looking a little weird and freakish and sootish, and but like underneath all that is a very attractive physique. I mean, just a real chiseled figure, And
underneath that is a bunch of stitched together children's souls.
Yeah, it goes deeper.
No big
but
deal.
Let's talk about the surface level. Like an Adonis is what I would probably compare. I think some people have said that, and I've heard that. I think some chatters have said that before. So
yeah, I think so.
Their words.
Let's go see what this started this fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a little bit more time. Some of us care.
I hope it wasn't Oz.
I give him a look like, who else could it be? like it's most likely Oz. I gotta say, I'm fond of the little guy.
Don't trust him.
Oz?
Or that little chicken. Well, big chicken.
I don't know. I got a good feeling about Oz.
Yeah. Right until it stabs you in the back with a pointy little dagger when you're not paying attention.
Yeah, well, I've stabbed a few people in the back when they weren't paying attention.
I believe it. I would never do such a thing. You have to face your enemies with your front, never your back.
I don't know. I'm about to grab a line from Jane. I'll fight a man in a fair fight, or if I think he'll start a fair fight.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't surprise your enemies sometimes, just like to see the looks in their eyes when you take them down.
What makes you not trust Oz? Because I feel the exact opposite.
Well, it's I mean, have you seen Oz? Shady motherfucker.
Yeah, well, goblins.
Not a bad cook though. Not sure where you picked that up.
I don't think I've ever met a pretty goblin. They all kind of look a little gangly.
Yeah. Just don't hear too many good stories about those types. Surprised they haven't run them out of town yet, but they started that fire. Maybe it's not too late.
Funny though.
Won't be me though. I made a commitment and I'm going to stick to it. Oz is part of our group, and as long as Oz doesn't do anything to jeopardize that, he'll have my protection. Same with you, I guess. You're my rat buddy after all.
Torvin is never far. He's never far. But he has maintained his silence in this time. It's like he's soaking the information in. He's overhearing it. He's probably cleaning himself up a bit, even. What's the likelihood that we would see Torvin kind of strike off without the others?
Torvin's just listening.
Okay.
He's just gathering information at this stage. He's been out of the loop a lot, so right now he's learning a lot.
Okay.
I actually look over at Torvin because I'm still kind of curious about the Oz angle. And I just, I look over at Torvin and I say, is this something all dwarfs feel? You ever seen a goblin do good? I mean, before Oz. What do you think?
Never. They usually gather as a group. They're a bit uncivilized, you could say. They used to raid our caravans and no.
They live in rat-filled caves, disgusting, poor hygiene, steal your children in the night, eat them, hear all sorts of nightmare stories.
And get too many goblins around a doll. Outside, I've run into a few, sure. Killed a few. But it wasn't personal. I didn't know them. Oz is the first goblin I've known. He doesn't seem too bad. Very smart. Gets a good eye.
Well, I never talked to a goblin before, but Professor trusted him.
Aye.
That's true. Though, I'm starting to wonder if we could trust the professor. Still a lot of unanswered questions there. I think I know the man. But
he seems to think we would make it out of this ordeal alive. He did give us a mission outside of dealing with the prison. And that's to go deliver those books, so must have had some kind of confidence in our abilities. He must have known we're all so different, though. It's madness.
You think he had
I don't think this
for
was
that?
Planned.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what that crazy old man is thinking.
Well, we're in it, so we're gonna complete it.
We are in it. Rice says that kind of throwaway, like he's not talking to either of them at that point. He's just kind of like, yeah, we're in it, man.
It's a recognition.
Kind of looking down. Yeah, like, fuck, man. There's no truer words have ever been spoken.
I don't think we're going to have an easy time doing anything with that apparition running around that boy's body, ruining it, completely destroying any chance he has of a normal life.
That's
I know
still
that
the best choice, but it's terrible.
I'm starting to wonder if it is the best choice.
Well,
at least leaving him unrestrained and free to roam around.
I think we got a lot of distractions right now.
We can't go back into Harrowstone and have that thing throwing those cursed items to all of his friends while they're escaping left and right, killing people for a promise of a name or some history or anything self-motivated. All he cares about is himself.
Seems to be. Temerity trusts him. She seems a capable inquisitor.
Yeah, and look where that got us. That thing walked out of the prison, thanking us for making it so strong that it could go seek its vengeance. Yeah, some heroes we are.
Well, I'm not one to pick a fight with a magic user.
Aye, but he may pick one with you later.
Yeah. Maybe. You get in line.
Oh, I have
Got
no
a
doubt
feeling
we'll see
he
that
may
creature
jump that
again.
line. But we got to get out of here. Torvin stands up.
I've been kind of just brushing off, cleaning myself, but I feel starting to put things back on, you know.
I guess that'll have to do. I'll have to polish it and clean out all the crevices later, but worst part about having armor is getting it dirty.
You've removed a fair amount of the viscera in both the lamellar and in your armor as well. It's not great. You certainly wouldn't go into a political meeting looking like this, but you've managed to knock away most of the smell. And that's...
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't.
That's just my
Old
natural
rat boy here. No, he's going to need new armor.
Well, now we got to decide.
He squeaks when he walks.
I give like a little side eye look at Torvin. We got to decide if we're going to go to town and see what was up, or should we head back to Kendra's? Part of me wants to just...
so tired.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired.
I feel like we
too.
just got to rest.
Let's go take a look first.
Yeah, we should find Oz. Fucker made me eat a rat.
Torvin, how did you know about the fire? I was following you.
And smell?
You could
The
smell
look.
it
The fire?
inside Kendra's?
Aye. You've never been in tunnels before, have you? Aye, I can smell it.
I've been in a few. I ain't got that kind of nose, though. Has a special nose.
Aye, smells
Men like
death.
Dwarf like you make good money traveling with me. You should think about it.
I'm busy. Maybe you could help me, but we'll talk later. I want to find out what happened.
Yeah,
We
that sounds
need to
good.
know what happened.
All right, well, I think you're the detective here. I'll follow your lead.
Jorfa made it out okay. I needed to ask her something.
Yeah, maybe I'll get to meet this Jorfa.
Aye, well, Jorfa's passed.
Ooh.
This is Stern and
get
quick
it.
delivery.
I look kind of over at Eli. In the fire?
Aye.
Oh.
She fell in the forge during the event. I thought it was the skulls again.
The idea of burning is absorbed Rye's mind for just a moment. He's remembering his own burning and how miserable that was and how that is no way to go. And recent events too, to be honest. That's miserable. How does a blacksmith spend every day next to the fire suddenly catch it?
No. Something here isn't right.
The forge was destroyed. Cracked, shattered. The stone bled.
It could have been the skulls, but what would the skulls have?
That's why I was
Why?
asking. We don't know. We can smash things, but we need to dispel them, don't we?
Was
They can come
was there
back.
no evidence? What could you find a point of where the fire originated from? Did you take a good look at it?
If the amount of force required just to do that, it would have to come from one location, and we can find that location by just the stone that's been thrown. We could we could see that. Maybe.
You do realize now that with as much damage has been done to the forge, it's very, very difficult to ascertain that information. The forge is burned. Most of the building is destructed, even with putting out the building next to it and the potential of it burning down the church. This was its point of origin, and a large portion of the materials here are just gone. I think you have more standing left still of the Laughing Demon than you probably do of the forge. And the Laughing Demon took a storm orb.
Maybe we should question some of the townsfolk.
Was there a body? Did you see a body?
Torvin did. Yes, Torvin did find the body.
Did you get to examine the body? Was there anything unusual? Is it just burning?
No, everything was on fire, son.
I'd like to take a look, if I might.
Aye.
I know you might not like this suggestion, but we should probably get Oz. Just like Torvin got a nose.
We need to find everyone. We need to find everyone.
Wow, that's true too.
We need to make sure that one of us isn't run off and gone rogue.
You think Oz did this?
I think it was either Oz or Tripp.
Well, I remember when Temerity sort of accidentally blew up an innkeeper.
I wouldn't put it past Temerity either. I've seen
strange
things.
Wait a minute.
Remember when she grew?
That
as tall as the building.
That's something that I don't think Eli knew.
Wait, what did he say?
Eli didn't know that Temerity killed Zokar.
No, I did.
Oh, you did know that?
She admitted it to me.
Okay, all right.
And then we had the moment where Zokar's ghost came and was like, I forgive you. No, I knew. Yeah, she
after my boy.
And I made her feel real bad about it.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that bizarre shaming. That was strange, but it was good RP. Good RP.
I look at both Torvin and Eli when I talk, and I say, I was there when it happened, and Temerity looked as surprised as everyone when that fireball shot out. And with the way that magic's been, we've seen him struggling.
You'd think after the first spell went awry, you wouldn't be surprised when another one did, and you would maybe not try to use your magic, but
was she under threat? Maybe.
I don't understand magic. I'm maybe you're right. I don't know. I don't think somebody an Inquisitor especially would just get away with murdering people without somebody saying a word about it or being some sort of rumor. They seem to respect her, and I think maybe your predispositions are pointing you at Oz, maybe for no reason.
I also said Tripp, and I have reasons for that.
Now, Tripp, that's a different story. It's getting strange and stranger. Again, though, I trust Temerity to take care of it.
Come to think of it, wasn't Jorfa? She worked at the prison. We found that out when we went to Harrowstone.
I think you're right.
Right before Tripp found out his name.
All I can remember is the taste of that nasty Dwarven brew. I give Torvin a look, which we got rid of. Rye grabs his backpack and kind of, tosses over his shoulder. Well, let's go find our team.
And the three of you set off. It'll take just a few minutes before you make it back to the Lorimore residence. But things are still strange. What's up?
Could I maybe stop by Jerminda to get the
Jerminda's, you would see Jerminda almost immediately.
Okay.
Jerminda is inside. She's actually cradling the head of Jorfa. She's inside of the gazebo. This is where we saw that that Wyld, as Torvin, had encountered Jorfa. They pulled her from the fire. So there she lie. She has been covered up, but Jerminda will be there. She's probably about 40 feet away from you at this point, and she has stuffed them into what looks like almost like a apron or like a nappy of sorts that she's rolled up.
I walk up and I'm kind of taken aback by the body because I was not maybe expecting to see the body. And does she see me walk up, or does she look lost in?
She probably notice you approaching. You're not super silent, but yeah, the likelihood of you being sensed is still high enough. She's alert.
Sorry about your friend.
She didn't say anything. Give me a sense motive.
Sure. And could I also just do like a kind of cursory scan over the body?
You can, but you'd have to pull the covering because something is covering her face.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I want to examine the body if Jerminda will let me look.
Yeah, so I rolled an 11% motive. If the cover's over her, I'm not going to do a cursor. It doesn't seem like it.
It's over her face. If you wish to move it, you can take a look. But with your sense motive, you basically get that there's no response from her. She has no emotional connection or tie to Jorfa.
But she's sitting here.
You got to remember how important the dead are to those from Nidal. This might be hard for her for different reasons. She also escaped Nidal.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I have a look?
She takes a step back and kind of tosses her hand out like, by all means.
I'll kneel down and pull back the sheet and have a glance at the medical situation and see if there's anything unusual besides burning.
Most notably, immediately, you will note that she has a large portion, like a large chunk of flesh, missing from her cheek down to the lower jaw, where she had the scar on her face. It looks like dwarven marking. Very, very similar to what you would see over Torvin's face. But his is deliberate. Hers is burned, almost like it's been scarred away. Now, that's not a fire. A fire didn't do that. This was abrasive contusion and like a tear. Something like deliberately scraped her face off, this part of her face. And
are you seeing this, Rye?
It doesn't look
right
normal.
In here.
I take a look now that he's pointing it out. What am I seeing?
From basically the bottom of the orbital socket down to the jaw, it's just a hunk of skin removed.
Either she got in a fight right before the fire, or somebody removed this.
Now, over the burn marks across her body, it's a little difficult to notice at first, but particularly around her arms, she has absolutely enormous arms, like bigger than most men's waist, to be honest. She is a mammoth of a blacksmith. And there are marks that, Eli, that you didn't see before. Burns are new, for sure, but there's almost this bizarre lightning-like scarring and scoring that goes up her body. It dances all the way across her arms, across her shoulders, up her neck. It even traces into her face. It's new. You don't know what that's from, though.
Very, abnormal. I've never even seen a wound like this. Not even a wound. It's not a burn. I don't know.
I look at Jaminda and I say, what do you think?
She kind of shrugs for a moment before she says, I've seen those struck by clouds. The light that streaks to the earth. Her body marks the same.
At this point, Rye is recalling the loud sound.
Yes.
That we heard earlier. Eli, remember when we were heading to kill the rats and we heard that loud crack?
Yeah, there wasn't a
a
lightning storm. It's been raining the whole damn time, but nothing like that.
Was it raining when we left, though?
Been
getting pissed on the whole time here.
It has been on and off drizzling, but as far as your recollection is,
not real rain.
It's not been real rain, no.
Yeah. While we're kind of talking, I'm gonna pull out about 5 copper, hand it to Jaminda, and kind of eye the rats, the baby rats. Thanks for holding on to them.
She'll collect the copper and she puts it in the front of her apron.
Yeah, this
she hand over
like,
the rats?
Yes, she does.
Okay, I take the rats back.
My guess would be some type of magic. Since there's not a thundercloud in the sky, we should probably go.
Something
could it have been the Splatterman?
Yeah, could have been anything.
I mean, this would at least he'd be going by his word. I don't know. There's too much we don't know.
And okay, just real quick, the Slaughterman is the guy that escaped with the staff?
Yeah, Splatterman was given his book and he left.
Right.
Said he was going to go track down the succubus that
correct
in life that ruined him, basically.
Rye thinks he's making a connection here. Do you think that Jorfa was his succubus?
No, Rye.
No. Well, mate, no.
How do you know? They can be wily types.
Never seen a dwarf succubus before. Never seen a succubus, but don't think she was going to be doing any seducing anytime soon, right?
Used to hear tales from this traveler. Used to come by tavern in Nadal. Maybe saw him once a year. Used to say dragons would live as men. You don't think other creatures could take the form of certain people?
I don't know if you've noticed, but Temerity has a tail. Look. The point is,
I think that's a little bit of
you think Temerity's a succubus?
She may be.
I'm over 400 years old, and I think this is the first time I've been stumped for words. No, I don't think that.
Well, that's
I'm going to head back to the house now.
I was bunking up with her. I don't have. She's not a succubus.
I don't have time for these wild dreams. You can fantasize about Jorfa as much as you want.
I don't know. I think maybe Jorfa was the succubus. Rye's kind of convincing himself
not Rye.
now.
I'll see you at the house.
He's jealous he didn't think of it.
That's it.
And Eli
I'm
steps
telling that
on.
to Jamenda.
Kill
I'm
those
telling that to
frickin' rats.
Jamenda.
Yeah.
I'm telling it to Jamenda. I'm like, he's mad he didn't think of it.
And Jamenda just kind of nods.
Yeah.
They're
Thank
just
you.
gonna reproduce.
Thank you for watching these guys. I'm gonna catch up with them.
I won't be far behind.
Rye gives Jamenda a little bit of a look. He still knows her connections to Nadal too, and Pevrin.
Before you say anything, knowing that you're still there, she hasn't walked on. She's waiting for you to kind of break. She stops you when you give her that look. I am not a succubus, and I will not sleep with you. The others may, but I am not.
Yeah, right.
Well, you don't have to be a succubus to sleep with me.
I
give her a wink.
It's gonna take more than 5 copper, bud.
You lack the appropriate equipment.
Well, if you ever want to join me in Temerity, you let me know. I give her a little smile and a little head nod, and I turn around and walk off.
She turns back to replace the apron over the face of Jamenda.
The dead body, Rye. The dead body. Remember that one?
Or over Jorfa, excuse me. She replaces it over Jorfa. Forgive me. I was just befuddled at your response. It just completely baffled my brain.
Let me oh no, it did it twice. I'm gonna take the first one. 11.
What are you wisdoming for?
I'm trying to see if I can make did it seem like she was, when she says, "Oh, you don't have the right equipment," I'm assuming women, and she's here with does she have a little thing with old Joffer face here?
Joffer face. Okay.
Yeah.
No. As far as you can tell, like she hasn't given that vibe off.
What parts does she want?
Well, I mean, you can be into women and just not be into all women.
That's not true.
Okay,
not from my experience.
All right. Fair.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Rye's a little confused by what Jamenda is and what she wants, so he just walks away thinking maybe she was into Jorfa, but he
got the Nadal collar on her, man. She's. Remember, we don't trust her.
Rye still got he's still thinking he's still thinking she had succubus, is Temerity now he's in this weird succubus zone in his brain.
Really just need to run an after hours perv game and just bring back, I think, anybody that wants to come back to that, because I feel like you would just nail it.
I mean,
I'm not trying to be excessively
to be fair,
pervy,
that's probably what Rye's actually thinking about. So, I mean.
right now, am I the
girls
succubus?
think weird.
Killed some rats.
Is it me?
Jumped in a burning building. Tried to make out over a dead body. Just a typical day.
Yeah, I don't. Sorry if I'm coming across as a little thick with the pervy stuff.
No.
I don't mean to.
No.
It's just Rye likes women, and Rye's gonna Rye. He's a bit of a himbo.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's perfect. That's what I like. I want to pull this camera back before we immediately shift everyone to the house to make sure that there may or may not be any conversation between Misty, between Xander, and Maggie here. Is there anything that Oz or Temerity or Tripp would like to converse with? Is there anything that you feel like you have to say?
I mean, I feel like we left it as me basically being like, I'm telling on you. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's,
Okay.
I mean, not a whole lot more to say depending on who I bump into first.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to take just a second. I'm going to get a water refill, and I'm also going to run to bio quite fast. It's going to be like 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll come back and continue with this conversation. I have a feeling this is going to get real strange. So we'll be back in just a minute, guys. Okay? Okay.
Oh.
so
All right.
she doesn't deserve my presence.
And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. We are here to see. We'll see where this takes us. Really, I'm interested in discovering exactly what happens. We ended with Misty informing us that Temerity is pretty much of the mindset of I'm going to tell on you. I'm assuming that there's going to be more words than that, but hey. I'm. What happened? He did it. It was all him. I'm waiting on it. It's going to be good. So. The three
Nas is in like a back room crying, right? That's
kind of.
He's been sleeping for like a full day or hours or whatever it is.
It's not even hours. It's been like maybe 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay, he's just sobbing in the room.
Yeah.
Awfully.
So what happened last time was that you walked in with the pail, with your bucket on your side, and someone watched you put the bucket down on the ground, kind of look down, and then just keep walking forward with your head down. So you went back to your bed, to your room. You were in a state of shock, and well,
I'm just laying in bed, curled into like a tiny little gobbo ball.
Got it. Torvin, Rye, and Eli, you will arrive back at the Lorimore Manor, the residence, with some haste. Just a few minutes pass. Rye probably would quickly move up in tow. He's already pretty spry on his feet, and he makes his way back with a group. The three of you arrive at the same time. The house is shut. It's not been the occasional door swung open and events happening around you. No, this time things seem to be as situation normal as can be. And you're met with ease. There is a tension in the house, however, when you arrive. Silence, which is, well, at times it's welcoming, but here it can mean a lot of things. Where do the three of you go when you first arrive? Do you head to the kitchen? Do you head off to the private, like, bathing quarters? What does this look like?
Who's the first person that we meet?
You would probably see Kendra in the hallway between the kitchen and the study.
Rye is, when he walks in, he's immediately looking at the table to see if there's any like apples or some kind of scraps or something that he can just kind of grab and munch on real fast.
Yeah, there's things. So it's been set aside that there's been like a whole thing of bread available to you, like various fruits are there. Plus, you know, you brought in many peaches at this point.
Okay, I grab one of the peaches and I take a bite and I walk up to Kendra.
Yes.
And I'm like talking with my mouth full, and I'm like, you know, hey, should check what I got here. And I'm like, show her the babies, the little diarettes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like walking up and showing her the diarettes, like, you know, kind of like pretty cool, huh? You know, like I just walk in, I grab some, take a bottle, like, check this out, you know, like.
What's that?
Oh, I didn't show you either.
Kendra, she glances down and she does like a small hop back, and she puts her the sensory there, right? Like it was a bit. She's a bit sensitive to that. Just, oh, why?
Oh, they fetch a good price. You should have seen it. Eli and I faced like 100 of them. We killed them all. Don't worry. But
put those things in a cage, keep them outside, not in the house. If you're gonna
we gotta clean them up a little bit.
And she walks away. She throws her hands up, kind of tosses the linen behind her, and she just walks off. It's like, this might be the straw that broke the camel's back. And she just walks. She's like, and she walks. She immediately goes upstairs.
Then as soon as she looks disinterested, I turn to Torvin. Check it out.
No.
Oh, tell me you're squeamish too.
Walk away.
I take another bite of the peach.
Kill him while you have the chance.
So squirmish. And
they'll bite on you while you're sleeping.
It's all right, guys. They just don't know you yet. Give him a little pet.
This one, little dead shit, and this one I'm gonna kill you.
I'm like, I'm just kind of ignoring Eli
Sure.
as he just keeps talking. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and I'm gonna like wash them off in the sink.
On your way through the hallway, so that you can make your way to that bathroom, you glance into the study where you'll see two people. You've become quite familiar with them, Temerity, and we see Tripp as Pevrin. Pevrin is lying on that same couch that you were just being aided on where you were being healed upon. And Temerity, would you describe how you're standing? Tell us what this looks like from anyone's point of view walking into the room.
A good question. It's been a little bit. All right. So, Pevrin, you weren't on like a trip on a Silwith, whatever your name is today. You weren't on like the bed or the chair or anything, right?
I thought we were in the study.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly, I thought we had made it to the town by the end of the session. I don't know if
I thought we had too, but I think apparently we had not. So we're gonna now be back in the study.
Oh,
so, okay.
Oh, that's right. Because you had grabbed him.
Okay.
And you were,
but I mean, if we're switching this, then I would say I'd probably be laying down. If that's the case,
it could be just when I like grabbed you and went to walk you to the town when everybody gets back. Because really,
I mean, we can play it off. Yeah, we can play it off that.
Because that way it's the
like
same,
you were just leaving the study. And
so it could be like you're just opening the door and you're meeting them, maybe.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
When I see Temerity, I'm gonna, speak up.
My child, you're hurting my wrist. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, what have you been up to today?
Temerity looks pretty pissed. There's I'm not quite saying seething, but she's probably got a hold of Pevrin by either the shoulder or the
that's
the
what
wrist.
I mean. Like, hey, what's going on? You look
So I would stop, obviously, and kind of not yank Pevrin back, but like bring him back with me, and then just kind of look at Tripp. Do you want to tell him? Do you want to, or would you like me to do so?
What?
I knew it, Rye.
It wouldn't make. Or is everyone there, or is it just Rye?
The only one that is not there is Oz. Oz, you can hear them, and it sounds as if the voices are getting louder.
You see, like Tripp, like looking back. I take it you put the fires out.
Well, yes,
not before I got to town hall, which I need to speak to you about, Temerity. I'm like making sure Eli hears that. Like, I need to, which reminds me, I need to speak to you,
Well, just so we're not being pulled anymore. And he kind of like tries to tug away from Temerity a bit. I was the one who caused it.
Rye's a little surprised by this.
I set the blacksmith ablaze.
I look over at Torvin and Eli, and I say, "I was wrong about the succubus."
You set the blacksmith on fire that gave us a magical weapon and also a lot of useful information. You set blacksmith on fire.
What caused that to happen, lad?
Yeah, why did you set the blacksmith on fire?
Tell them.
Because I was the one that killed Jorfa. I had wanted to use a spell to detect magic in the area, and something had went amiss with one of the scrolls that I had been given.
Tense motive.
Oz, give me a perception.
Oh my god.
Rye looks at Temerity first.
Give me a bluff.
Sorry.
Torvin is just confused.
You meant perception.
I'll re-roll that.
Rye isn't even trying to detect a lie. He is actually focused on Temerity because it sounds.
I'll use my last one.
Yeah, we have one more.
It sounds very similar to Temerity's situation, which I am sympathetic towards.
Oh boy. So that's... All right. So he set the challenge here. He set the challenge at 15, and the DC is even here. So with him rolling the sense motive before, you're attempting to bluff. Essentially, it's going to operate off of your bluff. So you've thrown a 15. You're throwing the sense motive of 15. It's an even or odd, or it's in your favor, Cobalt. What do you think, even or odd?
Ooh, comes down to an even or odd roll.
Told you it wasn't Oz. I look over at Eli. You got to keep your preconceptions in check.
You ever seen this one cast a spell before?
I've seen this one do worse.
I've seen a lot of things, but no magic.
What do you think, Cobalt? Even or odd in your favor?
I said even.
Oh, did you? Okay, I didn't hear that. Even. You win. You win that challenge.
Every time.
That makes sense.
Is it not magic that he's inhabiting Pevrin's body to begin with?
No, that's a supernatural effect that has to do with him being an apparition. It seems like he was more dexterous in his previous life, not a magic user. I also haven't seen any access to scrolls among the items that we've been given so far.
You did overhear that boisterous sound of the group kind of conversing, and then there's a stark drop off where you hear Tripp. It was me, because I killed Jorfa.
So we have a murderer, a liar, and probably a thief. Seems like the prison was the perfect place to put this one.
Well, let's not jump to conclusions. Not everyone who has
let me
killed
finish.
someone here is a murderer.
Conclusions, lad. He just said it.
Let me finish the story. To make sure that
work of fiction.
Her body wasn't used for any additional purposes. Given where we're at, I decided to burn her body and make it look like an accident.
Well, the body's still around and it's in the gazebo for everyone to see. And it's also missing some scarred flesh from her cheek. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
No, nothing about her face.
Give me a bluff. Give me a sense motive. You know he's lying.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything to her face. As I said, I burned.
I can tell you're lying.
The magic I did is what caused it, most likely.
Where's Oz? Was Oz with you?
Oz was with me, but not the cause of it. I was the one that caused the spell.
Someone keep an eye on this one. I'm going to talk to Oz. Don't let this one out of your sight.
Tripp says he did it, though. Why are you going to question Oz?
I'm done listening to him. He's a liar. He can't be trusted.
I
just want to see if Oz is okay.
Temerity, do you say anything in this? Do you kind of let him? Because like you saw through it. You saw through his ruse. And you kind of see what he's doing here.
I do. Is Oz making any noise? Like, do I know that Oz, I don't really want to disturb Oz because obviously trauma, but is there any indication that Oz is like listening, or is the door cracked, or?
When you glanced back previously, like you didn't go into the room, but you kind of peered in the hall. The door was left open. It was just fine. And everybody's being loud enough that you could hear this in the house.
I'm going to go over to Oz's door then and peek in.
Listening.
Okay. You glance in, and as described, Oz is kind of pulled up into a little bit of a goblin ball, just mourning.
Blanket like over his head. He's under the blanket. Looks like a little gobble ball.
Good game. Gobble ball.
You find him there in the bed. You speak to him, or do you step away?
No, I'll speak to him.
Okay.
Oz, I know that things happen, but do you have a second?
Just go away already. Leave me be.
Peverin's saying that he's the one who killed Jorfa.
No. He didn't do it.
What happened?
I did it.
No. Sorry.
Oh,
It's so hard to be like.
no, your reaction is just so pure.
I feel like.
Got all teary-eyed right now. Stop it.
Right? I feel like that would be a genuine though too, even regardless. Like, you know how when you're really mad and then something like that happens and you're like, oh,
yeah,
it takes all the wind out of your sails. I don't know. I don't want to. If you really want to be left alone, I'll leave you be. But
I didn't mean to do it.
I don't think you did.
And then you just see like a creepy arm with clawed fingers come out from underneath, and he's holding a feather and he holds it out.
Oh. Can I I'll walk closer and to look at it. Is that
Heck, that too. And then he like lets go, and you just kind of see the feather fall to the ground. And he puts his hand back in under the blanket.
I'll bend down and pick up the feather and put it on like the nearest surface, like the nightstand or something like that, because it's Pecker. Well,
that's all that's left of him.
Well,
and all that's left of Jorfa's in my bag.
That's left of Jorfa? Did you save them both for... We can get to that later. Right now, I will be right back because I'm trying to do things sequentially and I'm very I'm thrown off. She's gonna back out of the room.
Or I actually think it's in the bucket, not in the bag, because I don't have a bag. I have a bucket.
Okay.
Yeah. He said bucket, not bag.
Okay. I'm gonna back out of the room.
And the bucket's out in the hallway.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna peek in the bucket on the way by and verify and then go back into the study.
Yeah, as you're on your way back into that study. Go ahead and describe it, Maggie.
Yeah, underneath like what looks like a yarn, like, what do you call it? Crocheted pair of pants for Pecker is like a gross piece of someone's skin.
Yeah.
That has like some kind of weird tattoo or something on it.
Okay.
If you go and touch it, you can probably see what the tattoo is.
No, now I've got to pass on that.
No, you've got a very clear understanding that it's skin of some sort. It is about this time that you can overhear Eli saying, "All right, watch this one. Don't let him get away. I'm gonna go talk to Oz." So you can stop him in his step if you wanted to here.
I don't know that I would stop him as much as I would. No, I would stop him just outside the door. I don't know why, but Peverin's lying. Tripp, Phil, whatever. He's lying.
I know that.
Okay, good. Because
that's why I came to talk to Oz.
Well, Oz is
a lot of things, but I don't think he's ever lied to me so far.
And I don't think that Oz just lied to me just now when he admitted that he killed Jorfa. But it seems to have been much like when Zokar died.
You need to go tell the others this. They think I'm crazy. Is Oz in there?
He is. I'll go tell the others if you want to speak to Oz, but please be gentle. Jorfa's not the only being that died today.
Of course,
now look at the bucket.
Oz isn't a rat, is he?
No. But he is alone.
We need to worry about that thing inside of Pevrin running around making all these decisions. Can't let him out of our sight.
Agreed.
All right, well, I guess I'll go speak to Oz then, and I don't know. I just want to get the facts.
You notice on your way back, after that pause, that something that Temerity had said, not that Jorfa was not the only presence that was lost, and you did note the distinct lack of clucking of a large rooster walking around the house. And as you get closer and closer to that back bed, that's when you notice that there is not but a single feather upon the nightstand of where Oz lay forth.
Hey, Oz. It's kind of dark in here.
Sniffling.
What you doing, little buddy?
Nothing.
Are you okay?
No.
You want to tell me what happened?
No.
Okay. Well, Tripp is saying that he used some magical scroll to burn down the entire blacksmith and to kill Jorfa, and I think he's lying. Does you have any thoughts on that?
He used a torch for the fire. And I killed Jorfa and Pecker. You just see like a hand come out from under and points to the ground, but there's nothing there because he thinks the feather's on the ground.
Well, why'd you do that? Didn't you love Pecker?
Puts his hand back in. Yeah, of course I love Pecker. He was my bestest friends. It was an accident. I just wanted to see if she had any magic items. And then it happened. I didn't mean it to happen.
Did you see what happened to her face?
That was my doing. I took what I could of Pecker and her. I heard that sometimes you can bring people back to life. I thought about maybe a finger, but she had a weird thing on her face, and I thought maybe that would be helpful for somebody.
Okay.
I didn't mean it.
I feel like I should sense motive just because that's what Eli would do. Even though I believe
Fair
you
enough.
out of
Even
character.
if you roll a 1.
I love how
Sometimes
Oz is disarming everyone.
Sometimes that's how this the game works. Like you can
That's
choose,
fine.
even if you roll,
one.
you can roll the low. You could roll negatives, but sometimes you don't have to rely on a roll. You can just be like, no, it doesn't matter. I just believe them.
Okay.
If you feel like they are being truly authentic, it doesn't matter what you roll.
Well, I probably wouldn't believe you, but I know how much you cared about Pecker, and so I know it must have been an accident.
We can all hear this in the front room, yeah?
I don't know. It's not like they're being exceptional. Like you can hear the crying. Like I'm not gonna say crying, but the whinier tones of a saddened Oz kind of echo off of those hallway walls.
I would never hurt Pecker.
I know, Oz. Well, thanks for helping me out, telling me the truth. I'm gonna send Ryan here to cheer you up, okay?
There's nothing that's gonna cheer me up.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think you all should go on without me.
No, you unfortunately have an obligation to see this through now that you've killed the town's blacksmith.
And you just hear him like sobbing. You are so mean.
It's the right thing to do, Oz. It's okay. We're gonna get through this. As long as we're in the same group, I'm gonna protect you. As long as you don't kill me too. And then I'll leave the room and go to get Rye.
Depending on what's going on in the study, I'll have gone in and start telling them, like, contradicting Peverin's Tripp story.
Sure. Will you retort at all, Tripp?
I mean, it would be like almost like a weak argument. Like, you guys said it yourself. I'm just some undead, can't be trusted, and I'm a thief. Like, it's pretty much like, as she's like relaying the story back, like, those are like my arguments. Like, remember, you guys did say this. I couldn't be trusted from the beginning. I did steal your daggers from you twice.
Can I get a sense?
Trying to get yourself killed?
Give me a sense mode of everybody that's there. I think everybody but Cobalt is there.
Rye would be cleaning off the diarettes in the bathroom at this point. So I don't know if he's hearing this or not.
I know the answer to everything.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, it's just like, as like the story's being relayed, like he's kind of making those points across it. Not like, I'm not just saying it like that bluntly. It's
but you're not also like, you're not being facetious. You're delivering it with sarcasm to it.
Like intent.
Yeah.
No, not like a sarcastic tone. It's almost like, I guess in a sense, but it's kind of like I'm trying to rebuttal the points that she's trying to make, like why I would do it, or why you should keep believing why it was me, you know, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I don't know, it sounds dumb when I'm saying it out loud, but that's like the easiest way.
I just want to make sure that I was perceiving that the right way, because your delivery feels a lot more like, but no, I'm the guy who keeps stealing shit. I stole your daggers, but you're also just kind of pointing out facts here. Like there's some historical fact to it.
Yeah, it's not being said in a sense of sarcasm. He is arguing the point with her, like against her, but it's obviously like it's not going well. Tripp's not a good liar.
Sure.
To begin with.
Sure.
Is he?
The funny part is, Oz is a great liar, but there's too much trauma. Like, he wouldn't lie about this.
Then we see Eli return. You return back. The few others are surrounding the boy, and he's explaining the situation, but why shouldn't you? I've done this, I've done that, you've called me these things.
Exactly. That's what I said from the start. I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if we didn't get the worst option as far as what possesses the boy.
Oh. Look, if Splutters was inside, it'd be a whole different story. It is the best case. It's just the best case isn't good. Lad, this I just don't understand.
The town doesn't have much, and that blacksmith, they relied on that. And even with Jorfa gone, they could have at least used the building, used the forge, but now just another blow.
You can see like the exhaustion, even like I guess setting in on Tripp, just kind of having to, I guess, move around as much as he did in the short span of time. Kind of just leans over, and he pulls out that same gold coin, except he can't flip it, so he's kind of just like working in his palm, just like back and forth like this. And he goes, no. You are absolutely right. The town did take a hit. But there are still 2 very capable blacksmith apprentices that know how she works. But what I set in motion should have worked perfectly fine, given what I planned.
What is your motivation? What are your plans exactly there? You're not going to stop till all of your friends are free from the prison?
Ryan, you probably would have wrapped up the cleansing of your newfound rat friends at this point.
No, the ones in Harrowstone are not my friends, and maybe, given the hindsight of things, maybe I might have been better off just turning completely, but if everything played out correctly, then the people now know you're heroes, to say the very least. That much I did plan. Jorfa, on the other hand, was an unexpected blessing in my eyes. Though, what's the way to describe this? Half of me completely understands that she wasn't really involved in what happened to me. But the side that still lingers in undeath is completely glad that she had gotten what she had deserved, at least in that right alone. And I won't apologize for it.
She did nothing but help us.
Has nothing to do with this time.
So people don't deserve a chance to change.
This time.
I remember her from my time in Harrowstone, Torvin.
Aye.
It's a weird way to describe what I feel.
You judged her.
Yes, in the short of it, yes, I did.
And you think that's your place, do you? Occupier of Peverin. You think that's your place here?
Again, I said half of me knows that I have no place to even do that. That I completely understand her drive to want to change, knowing that she was different, even from the history that she told me of you two, or at least surrounding you two.
Our history.
That's just the easiest way for me to convey it. As I said,
why we're listening to him. He's just poisoning our ears.
I don't know the lass.
She claims to know otherwise.
Well, now we'll never know.
That might not be true either. She's still here. You can't see her, but she's still here.
Wonder if we couldn't get her inside of Peverin instead.
Might make your time a lot easier.
Raya's walking through the middle of this, but he doesn't really care if he killed Joffrey. He doesn't know Joffrey. He doesn't care if people kill each other. Like he figures people got reasons, whatever.
Sure.
He doesn't really.
All right. You should go check on Oz. He's not in a good place.
You notice that even Temerity nods with that.
Yeah, I'll agree. Which is probably not quite. If that doesn't ring an alarm bell.
To see both Temerity and Eli agree on something, it's a bell.
I think you get on best with him, Rye.
I point to the room where Oz is, like over
there. The dark, depressing room. That's where you'll find him.
I walk over and give a knock.
You don't hear anything other than like little sobbing.
A little bit of sobbing and whimpering. There's a lump in one of the beds.
I just go in. Kind of little knock and a kind of walk in. You guys can keep your thing going if you want, and then we can revisit however you want to handle it.
I think everybody's really interested in seeing how this Oz thing happens.
Hey, are you in here?
No.
I take a look at you all like bundled up. Is there anywhere to sit? Like somewhere to sit in there?
There's a few beds in this room, so you could just sit the bed like just across from it.
Wherever I can like prop my feet up.
Sure.
Like sit and prop my feet up.
Sure, it would be Temerity's bed, interestingly enough, but yeah.
Okay, I just kind of pop down, kick my feet up. Rough day.
Yeah.
You sad about Jorfa?
Yeah.
Why are you sad about Jorfa?
She's dead now, and it's all my fault.
You never killed anyone before?
Well, we fought that big stinger thing, and whatever weird stuff was coming out of the water, and those, I don't know what those things were, but ghosty bits.
Wait, so before we met here, you hadn't gotten any kind of tussles, no accidents, purposefuls,
Well,
nothing like that?
Killed a rabbit once or twice, and I've seen a lot of people die, but I couldn't do it myself.
Oz, how long have you been adventuring?
How long has it been since we've been together?
A week.
It's been 2.5 weeks.
Well,
You can see like under the blanket, it looks like he's like trying to count or something. And he's like,
probably about like 14 days.
14 years?
No, days.
Days? You've
That's
only been
right.
adventuring 14 days?
I didn't stutter this time, right?
No, not this time. But it is kind of hard to hear you under the blanket.
Sorry, it's cozy in here.
I'm like looking up, kind of just looking up at the ceiling, kind of contemplating. You don't adventure like you're new.
Oswald take the blanket off just his head. He's like a burrito right now. You see his big ears plop out in the dark.
I assumed you were a professional. Carry yourself well. Kind of lucky to have around, honestly.
Well, I had to go a lot of years of pretending like I did stuff. Sometimes, well, when I was really little, we were like a week old, and they put us in this battle against these giants, and 5 other goblins died, but they killed this thing. I don't know, I think it was some kind of giant pet, it look weird, and I took credit for it.
But you...
I didn't actually do anything. I just hid in the corner and watched them all die.
I felt like that every now and then. Early on.
Really?
Yeah, it was scary growing up where I grew up. You tell all sorts of lies to get by. I bet I got you beat.
Sometimes you have to. Eli makes it seem like if you lie, then I don't know, some ghostie's gonna come get you and bring you somewhere nasty. I don't believe any of that anyway.
I think Eli's probably told more lies than he lets on. I don't think any man gets anywhere telling the complete truth all the time.
Well, seems like he always does.
But listen, I gotta tell you something. As a friend, if you're adventuring, you probably end up killing people.
Do you glance over at all when, like, are you looking at Oz when you do this?
Nope, I'm looking right at the ceiling.
Got it.
Well, what if I don't want to kill anyone?
Well, you got a lot of skills. Good at cooking. Maybe adventuring life isn't for you.
Maybe. But I don't want to leave you all. Professor Lorimer sent us all together. Maybe I'd be okay if it wasn't someone innocent. I didn't mean for anything to happen to Jorfa. She was just trying to help us. She was gonna make us a map of Harrowstone, and then why did I have to do that?
You good friends with Jorfa?
No.
And how do you know
Maybe
they were
we
innocent?
could have been, but didn't kill her.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe you find out something she was doing worth killing over. Just depends on how you look at it, I guess. Either way, and this is when I look over.
You notice as you glance over that something sticks out about this, despite the fact that Oz's eyes are just puddles. Lips kind of furled up over the teeth, just snot pooling around the nose, and that sound of... You notice that there is one large, semi-crisped feather on the side of his end table, his nightstand. Matches the color of Pecker's feathers. Pecker is nowhere in sight.
Oh no. Where's Pecker?
He's dead too. I killed him.
At this, Rye kind of looks down, looks at the feather a little bit. He stands up and sits next to Oz. Just puts his hand on Oz's shoulder, if Oz will let him.
Oh yeah, Oz would allow that.
And he just says, "Now, that's a death worth crying over."
He was my bestest friend. We traveled all the way here.
I didn't know Pecker passed away too.
Well, it's not like I want to scream it about town. I didn't start the fire, though. No one else got hurt, did they?
I don't think so. Nobody seemed to be. We were able to get the fire out. It wasn't easy, but we managed. We heard a loud sound when we were heading out the other way. I assume that was you.
It sounded like lightning.
Sound like a whip crack.
I just wanted. She had all these magical equipment on the walls, and I just wanted to know if they were magical, and I didn't mean for it to happen.
Can I get a perception, please, from Oz and from Rye?
Sure. You have a natural curiosity about you, Oz. It's bound to lead to trouble now and then. I'm sorry you lost your friend. Sorry, I'm looking.
Sure.
For my... You said perception?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm going to reroll that.
Okay.
Low perceptions.
Ooh. All right.
Oh yeah, we do have rerolls. It's late. I'll reroll too. For funsies. Oh, twinsies!
Twinsies.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
24s.
Mom's party.
Yeah, mom's party.
Now, one of the unique things about the Lorimar residence is that it is the largest home that's not owned by someone that isn't a council leader. And what makes this unique is that these particular quarters also bear their own fireplace. This is the only home in the town that has multiple fireplaces like this. And the previous encounter here was with a figure, specifically, it was a figure that was meeting with, forgive me, Eli. But you notice that there is what looks like ash, bits of ash that seem to be kind of like slowly pushing. It just sounds like something sliding across the floor itself. Like someone is dragging a sheet, you know, that. You both sort of glance over as you're still talking, and you notice that something is pushing out finger lengths of ash from the fireplace.
Oz will move up in the bed and so the blanket will come off of him.
Yeah, I'll lean over.
What's that?
Yeah, that's not natural.
Do you wait? Do you ask for help? What does this look like?
I'm just watching. I'm kind of like...
Yeah. Oz says, what's that? And then he's just kind of staring at the ground, trying to see what it could be.
Sure. You watch on for a moment before inevitably more finger lengths sort of push out, and then you hear something that sounds like stone or wood being dragged across the floor. You focus your eyes for a moment, and you see that there's what looks to be some sort of ashen silhouette. A figure that is attempting to crawl from the fireplace themselves.
Can we tell what the figure looks like? Is it a figure we know?
It's not one that you've seen thus far.
Oz.
My bucket's in the hallway.
And Oz will grab the feather and be shimmying along the wall on the bed towards the door.
Sure.
If I see Oz start shimmying away, I'm shimmying with Oz.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, because I'm like, buddy, what's going on here? And
Sure.
I'm looking over and you're inching your way out. I'm like, okay, maybe I should be doing the same thing.
Your heel tips to the door at this point, and you hear the sound of a prattling chain.
Guys, I think there might be something in here.
Eli.
And it ain't right.
Torvin,
now they need me.
I'll look in between to Eli and Peverin.
Go like this, but I'm not going anywhere either. Go.
Oh, you need me to check something out? What's going on?
They're calling for help. Go. And he like tries to like lift his hands to like push him, but like you can see like it's like almost like moving through like quicksand. He's just like, you see his arms moving all slow, like trying to like push them away, like go. They're calling for you guys.
Yeah, we have a bit of a situation here. Something is crawling out of the fireplace. I'm like watching it and scooting out of the door and kind of like
as soon as
peeking back in and kind of updating, like
as soon as Oz can get out of the room, he's just gonna run to his bucket.
Fireplace.
I'll grab my warhammer and I'll go. It better not be any more damn rats.
And if you see Oz, he just looks like a crying mess.
I know that the bucket and the piece of Jorfa exist, so I'm going to go back towards where the bucket was.
Sure.
Tripp will lay down back in the couch. You guess what it is?
How about Torvin?
I'm staying next to Peverin.
Okay.
He's like, no, this guy's not leaving my sight anymore.
So, go ahead.
He'll go back and like go into like his meditative state. Like once they start running out, he'll like lay back down and go into that weird like trance again.
Sure. As you start to like lower your eyelids into that trance, the vision, your particular vision, it actually shifts and you see a figure before your face. You're glancing. It's weird because like when you kind of see that your eyes are closing to the point where you can see your eyelashes, you can see into your plane of existence. You can see how they overlap each other. Beyond the walls, far, far beyond the walls, you can see that sea of heads that are sort of roving and slowly building up in the courtyard at Harrowstone. But what is before you, just before your eyes cinch shut, is what looks like miles-long chains of a figure dragging itself. And it's just 20 to 30 feet away. And you recognize him. He was one of the men that came with you to Harrowstone. Do you allow yourself to immediately go back into that meditative state?
Yeah, I mean, if I can pick up details and relay it back after, knowing Torvin's nearby, then yeah, I would try to get these details.
Sure.
Who is the guy?
Well, you don't immediately know his name, but you know what they called him. They called him Father Charlatan.
God damn it, dude.
Finally, he shows up.
Yeah.
Sefik Corvin.
You just hear fucking Pepper going, he's like, man.
What do you tell Torvin?
It looks like you said, it looks like he's going back into that meditative state, but it's like that scope of time is so like detached. It's like almost like he lays down and then just pops back up and he goes, Father Charlatan's here. And then he sits up and looks at like Torvin.
When I hear that name, I pull out the Phantasma sword or whatever it's called.
Pharasma sword?
Pharasma, thank you. I said Phantasm. I don't know what I said. Pharasma sword.
Okay.
I wield it and I go into the room and I try to stab whatever is coming through that. It's a furnace, right? Or like a fireplace?
It's a fireplace, yeah. I want to make sure I get a grander scope before I let you He-Man your way in there, because I know that we saw Eli walking in. That information was also just passed to Torvin. What does Torvin do with it?
My main focus still is on making sure Peverin is sitting and making sure that Peverin stays sitting.
Got it.
So
okay.
Over my shoulder, I relay that information.
Okay. Do we see anything from Oz and from Temerity?
Oz is going to get his bucket to get his equipment.
If I see Oz coming for the bucket, I'll probably pick it up and hand it to Oz on my way into the room.
All right, so then this really looks like the four of you. The four of you have moved into the room. Eli, you were the first person there as this apparition starts to slowly shift from this mix of ash into taking a shape. And they are dragging themselves. What you see is a man with no hair on the top of his head. It looks almost like the horseshoe style haircut because he's old. The skin sags but grips tightly to the highest point of the cheeks. The eyes are deep in the skull. The beard seems to be, honestly, it mirrors Ello's in a lot of way. There are chains that he wears upon him with these tags, and when he starts to stand, you recognize their holy symbols across his body. He has a cracked staff in one hand, but what stands out to you more than the fact that an apparition, a ghost, is rising from this pit, this ashen place, is that there are hooks stuck into his body. Large scale hooks. I'm not talking grappling. This looks like what you would find in almost a modern like butchery. Hook draped just betwixt the neck and in the clavicle, drawing back over shoulder. What looks like this wet mess stained on each shoulder. One rope of chain tousled tightly around the neck. As he begins to slowly pull himself up, you see the yank in his body pulls back tightly. His eyes move around the room as he slowly looks to anyone that arrives before they finally train on you. Brings his fingers up around that chain on the neck to try to loosen them, but getting nothing. Getting no break. You see that the skin, even in its apparative form, has started to cinch and tear. Somehow even in death. He's on one foot and one knee. He's low enough to the ground. You've seen people like this before. They were prisoners. He looks like a prisoner. He tries to mutter something, but it just comes out as cinching still at the chain at the neck.
I try to cut the chain off the neck with a sword.
You move into the room.
Yeah.
Okay. Temerity and Oz, assuming that you're slowly making your way there as well.
Oz shoves the feather in the bucket and then pulls out his crossbow.
Eli, you've been bearing witness to this since before he's kind of come to. What is Eli doing when you see that Rye is moving forward with the Sword of Pharasma?
I'm not going to try to stop him. I'm just going to say, if you've come for your things, you won't find them here. But don't worry, we'll be visiting you soon enough in Harrowstone.
How do you try to cut this chain on his neck?
He's pulling on it, right? Does he look like he's trying to speak?
Yeah, you can see the mouth starts to kind of move, but he can't get much out short of that same.
You know what? Fuck the neck thing. I'm gonna try to hit him. I think Rye would try to just attack him with the sword.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Rye ain't fucking around when it comes to these people, okay?
Why are we having a discussion?
Yeah, why are we even talking?
Are we out of hot siphons now?
No. I think we have 2?
I thought we had
That seems
0.
really high for his sword.
It's a long sword plus 2.
Right.
1d8 plus 7 damage?
Correct. I'm looking at your modifier here. You shouldn't have plus 11. You're specialized in unarmed fighting.
True, but as a fighter, I believe I get proficiency.
No, you'll have proficiency. It's just, what is your strength modifier?
5.
You have a 20 in strength?
Yes.
Holy shit. Okay, I didn't realize that you were putting your points there. How do you have a 20 in strength?
I had
at most you could start with was 18, and when you get your points, you can't overlap them. They can't go back to back. You can put 1 in at 2, and then your next one you can't put in until 6.
I will double check how I got to 20.
Okay.
So far we've only had one strength point to allocate?
No, it's attribute point in general. You get one every even level. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, so on and so forth. So I'm guessing you probably put one in at 2 or one in at 4, but you can't put in both in at 2 and 4.
Human race would get what for attribute?
You would get a +2 to whatever you decided.
Okay, so if I rolled an 18 and then put a +2 into it, I would have been at 20.
Yeah, I just don't know where you put your allocated point. You starting at 20 would have been like, that's kind of, those are just like super scary
I think
numbers.
I started at 19 originally.
Gotcha.
I think I just put a point into.
Then that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so then
20.
yeah, you rolled exceptionally well. Yeah, that's really high. And you're just how are you doing? Because it's a slashing weapon. It's not stabbing, right? So where are you swinging?
I mean, I'm swinging to kill. I'm swinging to kill whatever is in front of me right now. Yeah, it's this. And listen, I'm pretty consistent. I did the same thing with.
Yeah. Of course.
Splatterman. Like, I got this sword. I don't want them to talk. I don't know what the fucking curses they may say or shit. At first, I was like, I should attack the thing to see what it said. I'm like, why am I trying to see what this thing says? We've been under duress. Like, I'm fucking tired. I'm exhausted.
Sure.
So I'm just like, fuck this shit.
Go for the head.
And I go for like the neck. Like,
right.
I'm just like bringing that shit down.
You got it.
Do you happen to have our sheets originally?
No,
by
I
any
don't.
chance?
I didn't save them from level 1.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I did this right, but I'm definitely willing to go back and double check and make sure that everything's on the up and up.
Okay, I need you to make a will save.
Sure. How many rerolls do we have tonight? Because I used 2 so far.
We've only got 2.
Okay, then I'm all out. So 15 is my will save.
Okay. You successfully swing down. When you bring this blade down, it cuts through. It manages to leave this like trace down his face, and it splits. You see the hair kind of slide off to the side, and it cuts straight down the eye. And if he wasn't in pain before previously, he definitely is now. But as it draws down, it seems to nick the blade across the chain itself, and his shoulder is jerked back as he's trying to resist. And then the other shoulder is jerked back, and his eyes flash this brilliant white, capturing your gaze even for a moment, Rye. You fail your will save. And the moment that your blade strikes the ground, the world around you sort of shifts and changes, and the vision before you is back at the funeral, where you were burying Professor Lorimore. It continues to rain. You see your allies around you, but instead of seeing a casket that's been closed, specifically for Petros himself, you witness something a bit scarier for you. This is personal. It's a personal horror. You witness your first love. The casket is open, and a woman that you cared so passionately for, a woman that drug you from a fire, that you believe gave you your daughter. It's her body in that casket. And the people who surround you outside of your allies are the kids that you were protecting and growing up with. They're watching on. And though it rains, their sadness is palpable. They mourn when you do not. They cry for you. Now, what this looks like to Temerity, to Eli, and to Oz. He swings, the sword connects with the ground, and then his hands fall limp to his side. You see the body of the man shuffling to the side. You can hear that clinking sound yet again. This ghost, this apparition, Cephik Corvin, where the blade struck him, you see what looks like something, steam rising from him and emitting into the world around you, like a mist, a haze.
We all made mistakes. And we continue to do so. Help me to my feet.
Is he talking to me?
You can't hear anything but the rain and the children crying around you. It's to the other three in the room. The three of you just stand there, just waiting.
I'm gonna smite evil.
Okay.
He is. Sorry. Careful where you swing that.
Splash damage.
What does this look like when you declare smite evil? Do you start praying? What does this look like?
I'm gonna point my hammer at the ghost and say, aid me in my struggle to smite this evil creature so that I can bring justice to those that have been wronged and all of the victims.
And you take your steps.
Lay below it.
And as you continue this chant, this prayer.
Fine. Smite me down. You'll only help his cause. I've come as a warning. Go on then, strike me down. Ask your gods for help. As if I'm not being tortured enough.
No problem, I'll put you to rest.
He said he came as a warning for what?
A warning of something. You guys could find out more, but you're in murder hobo mode.
I didn't quite hear what he said.
Protecting your home mode.
Potato. You know who might be able to make a difference here if he focuses? We might actually get something out of Tripp.
I wasn't in the room though. I don't know if I can.
You're not, but he's not being quiet either. And you're the only one that saw who he was before he got there, because had you not mentioned it was Father Charlatan, nobody would have known.
I would turn to Torvin and look at him and go, I can't take the boy, but I can try to stop them. Well, him.
Do it.
Very well. And then he's gonna leave the body. And I'm gonna fucking punch right through the walls and just fucking lunge at Father Charlatan.
As I take it, Peverin's body falls limp.
It does, yes.
I'm gonna put him down. My actions. I have a set of manacles. I'm gonna put manacles, if they're in my backpack, I'm going to put manacles on the boy, but that'll take a bit.
Sure. Eli, make your attack.
Alrighty. I love that sound. Okay, so that with the smite.
Yep.
Is going to be. If it's evil, it takes a first successful attack is 2 points of damage per level the paladin possesses. So that'll be 4. Regardless of the target's smite, evil attack automatically bypasses any DR the creature possesses.
I really just need damage.
And that's it. Yeah, so it's just 4 more damage.
You got
on
it?
top of that.
So 9.
So 9. He takes 9 points of damage. As you seem to bring your weapon down and you see that coalescence of fire and light over his cranium, he's immediately struck. Something passes through your body, and it sort of punch/spears Sefik Corvin, the charlatan, Father Charlatan, back into the fireplace and through the wall. Immediately, as soon as that happens, he disappears. We also see, in that same time, Ello, you awaken. Your weapon has been driven into the floorboard itself. See that? Eli has struck down his weapon, drawing forth fairly heinous damage, cracking that skull, splintering it almost into this cosmos-like effect over the apparition. Things look a little different on the outside of the house, though, in this confrontation between two. Father Charlatan and Silwith. You've drawn him out of the house. You wish to take a hostile action. The only thing that you're given is the sound of wind, but you can notice, because it is from your veil, from your home, from your vision. The father never carried chains with him. Not at all. He was never a prisoner to anyone but Harrowstone itself. And any of the others that exited that place, they were free to walk as they had so deigned. And here he is, cracked, broken, bludgeoned, nearly split in twine in places. And these large cleaver-like hooks are across multiple spots of his body that other people would not have seen, but you see it clear as day.
You were there that day. You're on the wagon.
Is he talking to me?
No,
I was just talking to
Silwith
me.
and him came together when they went to the prison.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Are you going to say anything?
No, not this time. Like, it's one of those things where he knows where he stands with them. And the moment he says that, he's going to swipe at him.
Take your swipe.
And I'm just using the rate template, correct?
Yeah.
15.
You know, you can't hurt me. You haven't got it in you. Swing away. Fly on the wall. A crying boy in the bottom of that hellish place. I'm being pulled back anyway, but I come as a warning. You know as well as any that not all of us there were there for reasons that were worth. I never found your crimes, but I ain't the one to judge you. I went for swindling churches. Was that so bad? You think Pharasma? You think she cared about the coffers?
He leans forward. Like, it's so, just to give you some context, Tripp's form is like breaking apart, very bad. But I would say it's the first time that he's actually like stood tall in a sense.
You're both wraiths. You're both wraiths here in this form.
But I mean, even as he's dissipating, he tells him, Pharasma cares for her people, as all of those deities did. And your crimes have put you here for a reason. And then he's going to try to muster as much strength as he can, and he's going to try to like punch at him again to push him back to Harrowstone. And he's gonna like try to like just use as much force as like much of his willpower as he can to shove him back into the prison.
Sure. As you drive forth, your vision catches his. As you're preparing to shove him back to Harrowstone, I need a will save.
Okay. Ooh. Do we have any extra rerolls? No, right?
And let me show you a stark truth.
You failed your save. And the vision that you see before you was the day that you got arrested. A day that you took the fall for your father, Visaro Ashworth. As they were boarding you into the back of the wagon, you glanced through the bars. You saw your father take a payoff and start laughing. You saw your father glance away and throw his hands over his shoulders. Waste not, want not. It's not an issue of mine to lose a bastard son. It's not an issue of mine to lose a bastard son.
It's not an issue of mine to lose a bastard son. Who are you fighting for? What are you fighting for? You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you say. Because we're gone. We're dead. And if you couldn't tell, I'm losing shape by the moment. Because the real problem lurks back in there. It's what I came to warn you about. You have these lives to squabble over, and we just spent the last 50 years dying to get out. And some fool comes through with a robe, casts a spell, and now suddenly the warden ain't keeping us in. He's killing us. So what, you think putting us back there is going to do anything for you? Because once the 5 of us are gone, well, 4 of us are gone, we don't feel splatter no more. You'll just get called back next. And he's only getting stronger. So you can heed these words, because I'll be gone soon enough. He's taking what little we have, and it's making him stronger. And where you have that boy, he's got something much larger. Someone much bigger that's allowed him in. A monstrosity of a man. And you'd better get there sooner before later. Because I don't have freedom here. I've been a prisoner, and now I'm twice the prisoner. So this ain't to belittle or scare you. It's to wake you the fuck up. Because we're gone.
His shoulder jerks a few times before his feet go out from under him, and you hear a cackle. An inhuman-like cackle. As a single chain drawn up around the shoulder, piercing the clavicle itself, starts to pull him back.
It's only a matter of time, boy. You'll be gone too. You'll be gone too!
As he's drugged back to Harrowstone.
The thing, as he gets drawn back in, still will phase back into the wall and present himself to the group.
And before you can say anything, that is where we end tonight's session.
Damn it, Maggie, you made me fucking cry twice. Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Anybody else think Borovin's a piece of shit?
No.
I'm starting to feel like the people we thought were the bad guys might not be all the bad guys.
I think we are the bad guys.
Are we the baddies?
Are we
the drama?
Borovin
I think we're the drama.
bad guy. I think
It's actually a reverse campaign, guys. I'm actually like the good guy, and you guys are the bad guys that I'm trying to get past. I'm just like, there's so many bosses.
You guy convinced me that Rye's bad.
I mean, hell, I think Cobalt had to convince himself that he knew that Rye was bad, and everybody else was just insane for not believing it.
I mean, to be fair, he's not necessarily wrong.
He's evil.
But see, some of us see the good in him.
He's just a good shade of evil.
Yeah. It's like
the
not
best
blood red.
evil characters are the ones that you don't realize are evil.
Krohn, who's making flesh golems and sticking the warden in them.
And he's got the little
corrupting the
crystals
earth
on all the
elemental.
little kids.
I'll trust him. I sense motive the shit out of him. He must have
He's
just
got
been
little
really
friendship
good lying.
bracelets on all the kids.
I'm not gonna lie.
I love how
I don't
right
trust
and
him.
how wrong you guys are all. Like you're all at this point. It's very exciting.
I'm assuming he said it was to protect them, so and Oz believed it, so
I forgot how bad Silith was at bluff. I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty good at this, and I was like, wait, no, he's not. He actually hates talking to people.
I'm very good at talking to people. Oddly for a hobgobbo.
Let me give you
And
guys
I
your
think
send-offs
that's
here.
why Eli and Oz somehow get along sometimes. Eli's so mean.
I was nice for Eli.
That was pretty nice.
Eli was magnificent.
Oz, I know it's Oz. I know. Hey,
It was
buddy.
nice
Yeah, the hey
for
buddy.
Eli.
The hey buddy fucked me up, man. I was not ready for that.
Okay.
Heard
was
you killed the
perfect.
blacksmith.
It was so hard. I'm like, you guys kept making me laugh so hard, and I was like, I'm supposed to be like a crying mess.
Yep.
Murdery blacksmith
I don't know.
lately.
I don't know why, but we had sort of a comedic spin on this, like
Very sad thing.
these sad events that have just kind of taken place. I don't know why.
It's just
that
funny.
was the vibe, but
Eli trying to be nice to
That's the funny
Yeah,
part. That's the funny part.
it
part.
wasn't intentionally
Because it was like an hour ago, he was like, "It's fucking Oz. It's always. I swear, goblins are not good."
Eat rats.
Hey, buddy,
he's crying and the
Sounds
evil
like you're
ghost
going
is
through a
lying
lot.
outside.
Yep.
I need to get the facts right, and Oz seems
Oh
pretty
my gosh, when he was like, "Why'd you kill
malleable?
Pecker? Don't you love him?"
Oh my god. I was like, no, stop it.
why'd you do that, buddy?
I just wanted to make sure that, like, okay, it's an accident. It's a workplace accident because Pecker was, caught in the crossfire. So clearly it wasn't intentional. But now you're fucked. You have to stay and help us. You can't run anymore.
Well, it's kind of funny how
That
worked
works
out.
though, because it makes Oz. You are right, and that's why Oz is like, I do have to help.
Yep, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I made a promise to Peverin's dad. Is ultimately, what's keeping him here,
I feel
and
like,
to Professor.
I feel like you. I feel like if you didn't kill Pecker,
I would
in
be
more
killing
trouble.
Oz for sure.
Yeah, like
Honestly,
the fact
if
that
you would have
killed-
gone to kill Oz in his current state, he would just take it. He would just
Let it
die.
happen.
Go
Also,
ahead.
you could probably one-shot him. He's got 16 HP.
Yeah.
You're laying down and you're under a blanket. That's coup de grace.
It's like auto crit, right? Like,
Yeah, auto
It's pretty
crit.
rough.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that like you had such a strong bond with Pecker and made him such a part of your character that like if Pecker's dead, we know you didn't mean it.
Also, I
it's
did
like
find
Exactly.
out where the magical aspect of it came from. It's from Arcane Bond.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's why I got that plus from him that I don't have anymore.
Was it like Spot or something like that?
No. It was because the chicken gave me something else.
I'm gonna post that in chat. That was dropped in my Discord. It's fucking
What?
funny.
Where?
I posted it in the Twitch
let me
chat.
see.
Oh my god.
Yeah. People were saying like when they were looking at the fire, when something was crawling out of the fireplace, they were like, or I
this
think
a
it was
succubus?
Wyld. Wyld was like, "Is this a succubus?"
Yeah.
Is the fireplace a succubus?
Yep. Perfect. Cobalt, sir, tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you these days?
I am CobaltStreak, play Binding of Isaac. I've been playing some Balloons TD because there's new stuff on there that's fun. Some Rogue Legacy.
Cool.
Just whatever. I do Pathfinder tonight, and I do D&D Ascension on Thursdays. And yeah, should be just streaming around 5 p.m. Central. If you want to come hang out, appreciate you.
Perfect. We have Miss Misty, Imperial. Tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you these days? You're muted?
just like all day at work. You can find me at twitch.tv/Imperial, and Imperial Girl, GRRL, aforementioned Tank Girl problem, at all the other places. I'm finishing up some St. Jude fundraising this month, and we are doing a lot of sewing and Sims and I don't know, whatever really floats our fancy, and trying to have fun doing it. So
perfect.
Being mad at my microphone that died on me, normal.
Oh,
shit.
damn.
Oh, it died like a hard death. Like it's like pour one out for this bad boy.
Oh man.
I'm using my wireless. Like I'm on my, like I've got my lab.
Oh,
mic
I was
and
wondering.
yeah.
Your mic sounded different.
Yeah, it's. I hope it wasn't bad. I apologize, but the.
It's just different.
Yeah, just a little different as well.
Yeah, it's dead. Dead, Jim.
Where's some pepper pouring out for the mic, guys?
Yep.
We got our man Wyld. Tell us about you, boss. What are you doing? Where can we find you these days?
Oh, I'm wandering around the place, doing things occasionally. My partner and I just set up a modded Minecraft server, which is more designed around being peaceful and relaxing. Like mobs won't actually attack you. You have to attack them first. So it's a gathering beautification, sort of relaxing sort of server. So we're starting to play that. And this weekend, I'm going to be getting big into ESO again because the next DLC drops, the next chapter, and I'm a little excited because I really like Bretons. So, yes, I'm going to be playing the hell out of that.
Perfect. Perfect. That's good. I still haven't played ESO. I should really get on that.
You better add cooking stuff if it's Bretons. They're known for cooking, guys. They're known for cooking.
I didn't know that. Thank you. Thank you for that, though. Appreciate that. Maggie, you're back. You're back with us.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to go see my family, and it was very, very nice. You can find me at MargaretKrohn in all of the places. I do lots of things on the internet. If you enjoy tabletop, I do a lot of that. And I have some more projects that are underway that may come to fruition soon. So keep your eyes peeled, or ears peeled, I should say. And I make games and video games for a living. I'm currently working on a project called Ashes of Creation, and you can find it at Ashes of Creation in all of the places. And I'm also working on the advanced version of Witches and Spellcraft, and you can find the original over on DriveThruRPG. That's me.
Perfect. It's one like hearing. Hello. When you're not seducing the fireplace, a dead woman, a live woman, someone who's clearly not into you, what are you doing?
Inanimate objects.
Yeah.
I play video games. Hi everybody. If you don't know who I am Ellohime. I've been streaming for like 10 years now on this beautiful website. We have a lot of fun. I'm usually up really late, so like insomnia hours Eastern time. So if you don't sleep like me, then come on along. We jump into a lot of crazy shit and a lot of different stuff. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to be live in the afternoon for once.
Wow.
Jumping into EverQuest. They're coming out with new time lock progression servers, which means it's a very specific tailored experience, like starting over from the beginning, like what EverQuest was back in the day, and then progressing through the expansions. I'm going to be making a push for full leveling. So I'm going to be going from first level to max level on the server in one sitting. So it's going to be a long stream, probably going to the evening. And if you want to join us, you're more than welcome to check it out. If you've never seen EverQuest and you hear a lot about it, you want to check it out, or if you're a veteran, maybe you haven't seen it in a while. Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
That's me.
Perfect.
Yeah, I actually have 13 HP, so you could have
sad.
easily one-shotted me.
That's so sad.
The chicken gives me plus 3 HP.
That's
so I removed
sad.
it.
Wow.
It is very sad.
Wait, are you down to 13?
Yeah,
I'm down to 13
because
HP. Yeah.
Becker gave her +3. That's
Yeah, because
that's
I was like,
wild.
I remember him being a magical chicken, but I couldn't remember what it was.
It's hard to believe that your chicken gave you 18% of your health.
I mean, he was a big chungus. So.
He was a chungus. You're not wrong. Xander, sir, tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Yeah, name's XanderDarks, everyone. Hello. You can find me on Twitter, perusing, or Instagram usually. I was streaming earlier today. I usually stream kind of early in the mornings. Playing some Path of Exile. Finally getting to my mapping since I took forever to start the league. But yeah, if you guys want to come hang out, chill, talk about nothing or everything, that's where you'll find me.
Perfect. That's what I like saying, guys, and that kind of leaves me. I'm Bub. If you've been here, you know what I do. And if you come back, you'll see more of those things. That's all I've really got. If you want to help me out at all right now, I've got a GoFundMe thing going on, and we just broke $10,000 on the GoFundMe. We're pushing to my first surgery at $16,000, and then I'm closing it out. So maybe consider helping if you want to. If you can't, then share it out. Let people know about it. And I am gonna free these people so that they can do what they want to do tonight. I love your faces, guys. Do what you do. Stay safe, stay nerdy, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye,
chaps, everybody. Take it easy.
Bye.